The sub in.
Peanut on the bench. That would be quite the embarrassment of riches.
Feels bad, man.
So Ever8 are on blue this time. We'll see if they can adjust the pick band to try and get themselves a game breaker. The game breaker in game one was the Galio, it felt like, which really did carry a lot of the hopes of the side of SK Telecom. Baker on Galio sounds like negative synergy, and I know the TSM fans have been unhappy with Bjergsen on the pick, but if you have Bang popping off, if you have Untara hitting the equalizers, it's fine to take a back seat. Just think back to 2015. Baker was playing Lulu basically every game.
Yeah.
So Galio is kind of the latest in the more utility, or in this case, initiation focus from the mid lane, and Galio will provoke the first ban of the game.
Yeah, and the Zach going to follow up the backside of that Galio. SKT banned it on blue side, which was a bit surprising, but still, of course, on red. We'll be seeing that one come through.
What are Ever8 going to fish for? Are they going to fish for junglers? Seems like the answer so far is yes, given that they've banned none with their first two bans. Bans in game one, Elise, Gragas, and Syndra. So there was two junglers targeted out there, and then the Syndra. Now, Scepted would love to first pick Syndra, and I could see SKT letting him. That would be an SKT thing to do. They know that if Syndra is left open, it will be taken at first pick. Baker's been playing a lot of Cassidy in solo queue. Hasn't translated it into pro play just yet, but I have to feel like it's not too far away from coming true. Champions to look at here. Rumble. Junglers as well. So Lee Sin, for example, could be considered as a first pick. Malrung is a great Lee Sin player, undefeated so far this season on it. And SKT decide to not play with fire. They will ban Syndra, but it leaves Lee Sin open for Malrung.
Do they want to take this as the first pick?
I would say yes.
I mean, probably. Right now, the jungle pool not really pinched outside of the Elise and the Zac. So a lot available, but maybe they go for the Kha'Zix instead. Saw Blank have a pretty solid game on it in the first, but leaving that open, it's going to be shocking. They will go for the J4, so could take the Lee Sin in the second round if it's not snatched up by SKT here.
And Blank's not necessarily a big Lee Sin player. He's played it in the past, but it's his teammate on the bench that is known for the Lee Sin. One of the few times you will not see Lee Sin banned against SK Telecom T1. The Rumble happily snapped up by Untara, who looked really good on it in game one, it must be said. Counterpoint to more of the struggles of Rascal in Series 1. So far, Blank has been picking the Varus early for Bang, because he's been on almost exclusively Varus duty. They're going to mix it up here and jump onto Ashe this time.
Changing things up, so going to be a bit of a different dynamic.
Not really that much of one, though. Pick your poison.
Now
Ashe,
it's a
Ashe,
longer
Varus.
range stun.
It's true. Probably doesn't need to flash to catch the Lucian
Yeah,
next
he
time.
can make those cross-map plays now. Be solid, but something that is available is going to be that Thresh.
It was denied away by SKT in game one, so Comeback, or Hachani, as you probably know him better, jumping onto the Thresh, try to do some playmaking in the early laning phase especially. Surprised to see Ever8 not visit the Lee Sin so far.
Yeah, really holding off on this. It seems like they want to keep SKT guessing as far as where the J4 goes. But
Nope.
I don't know if they're that concerned, but yeah, never mind. It's just going to be the Kha'Zix. So even with the Lee Sin available, like you said, Malrung doing very well on it so far. You will just opt in for the Kha'Zix, and Blank not going to be the biggest player of it, but still does pick it up from time to time, and he'll do so again right here.
He's definitely played it in competitive. He's not a superstar Lee Sin like his teammate, like we mentioned. Very strong draft from SKT on basically any patch in the last year. Getting Rumble, Ashe, and Lee Sin together. Identities still to be decided. Very powerful lanes and powerful jungler picked so far. Pick comp for Ever8 with Thresh and Jarvan. If Kha'Zix gets ahead, it can definitely be deadly. Maybe we'll see an assassin from the mid lane and see Ever8 go super big and bursting down one. SKT have seen Deal struggle in the past. We saw his Ashe game in the last series be a big source of struggle, so we'll ban away the safe lane equalizing pick in Varus.
Yeah, don't really have to ban away the Ziggs, because the synergy with the Thresh not going to be the greatest, I suppose. So probably not too concerned about that one.
Baker's highest win rate mid laner, and in fact most played this season, has been the Taliyah. His blind picks are usually Taliyah, Orianna, and Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia banned in the second round by Ever8 in the last series.
maybe the final ban here yet again as Orianna is taken off the board by SKT. Don't want to hand that one over as a blind pick for Septed.
SKT have been known to last pick support for Wolf pretty consistently. So they may look to do that here. It's been a few patches since that was a big strategy and can really help them in winning the 2v2. And 2v2 is the big weakness of Ever8 as Duel and Comeback have had their struggles. So Faker goes for his strongest counter pick possible to allow Wolf to last pick support and iron up any problems in the laning phase.
Cassiopeia for him.
They're waiting to see how risky an AD carry choice Duel will take. Will it be something like Zig's bot, or will it be a hyper carry?
I mean, the Zyra available yet again. If Wolf wants to pick it up this time around.
But he just wants to see, is it going to be a Twitch rather than a Caitlyn, rather than a Ziggs? Like, having the ability to choose your poison when it comes to support can definitely help with the 2v2. As Thresh Kalista is definitely a power duo if they're willing to lock it in. Other bot laners would definitely not hesitate to pick it up. We've seen Deft play it recently. Had some great Kalista players, but don't know if Duel is necessarily on that particular level, and that's we'll just see the Caitlyn. So a lot of options available here, ranged and melee. Both a possibility. Could see the Tahm Kench, could see the Braum. It's going to be the Braum this time.
All right. Both comps coming together. Like I said, I didn't think we'd probably see that Kalista from Duel. Like I said, mechanics maybe not there, even with the duo bot lane with the Thresh alongside him. But Hachani going to be looking for a better performance on the Thresh. Had some good moves in game one on the Zyra, but not enough to really solidify a lead for the side of Ever8.
Septa going to be jumping on the Victor when posed the question by the blind pick Cassiopeia. Victor's been a big pick so far for a lot of mid laners in week 2. Largely not picked at all in week 1, and then week 2 we saw a big jump in pick rate, Crown jumping on it, for example, to great effect. Sure. I mean, he hasn't played it much, it must be said, but was picked pretty consistently by him this week, and Pawn as well. And Tara gets the Rumble again. So what is it about SKT having top lane subs that play just a couple of champions and get them every game? I guess you have to ban someone. Yeah. 5 bans never enough.
You think back to Prophet, just getting Nautilus Rumble all the time.
Ever8 went very Lucian focused in game 1, and while it worked to a point, he got deleted, and thus the hopes of Ever8 were deleted. Victor's going to want to spend a lot of time in his side lane farming, but that's also Faker's mantra on basically every champion. So we came for the featured matchup. Felt like largely we were denied it with the Galio mid as a sustain pick. Bit more carries in the mid lane this time.
Yeah, having that Cassiopeia coming through, going to be a big one here for Faker as we load up for game number 2. See if SKT can close this out cleanly, or if Ever8 will pick up a win against the Goliaths. All right, well, we got the cheer out this time, so a step in the right direction here for Ever8. Competitive overall first game, but still not close to a victory. Maybe they can turn that around here in game number 2. SKT all grouping up inside the barrage.
They have a good idea these days, shown himself twice.
Don't have much of a way to lock him down outside of a flash forward from Wolf.
They want him to go for deep, for very late vision, and then kill him.
Well, they slow him up. He's just going to flash immediately, so I'll be happy with that.
SKT could have gone for the patented Quadra Flash on top of the slow target and exhausted, decided not to. We've seen it so much this week that it sounds like a crazy strategy, but literally happened twice already.
Bang. He's got to be careful. Come back wrapping around the side. Spots him now.
So SKT prioritized getting a single ward. That's a really cool SKT ward skin coming in there.
That's a foot. Uh-oh, no. Come back in a bad spot because the blows come through. He's going to flash over the wall, but still one more shot is all that was required. And oh dear, Ever8 started things off the wrong way as Faker finds first blood already on Cassiopeia.
So it looks like SKT re-invaded their jungle in a way where comeback was surprised. Unfortunately, we were checking out the sweet fan signs. We didn't get to see their exact pathing.
Yeah, take a look at that foot.
A surprised comeback, that's for sure.
Oh, Malrong's going to be surprised as well. Banks says, hey, I want your red buff, or I'll just settle for your life. The smite comes through, but he's going to get slowed up. Dark Passage is there to take him away to safety, but he will still be denied that buff in the end. So this is, yeah, this is pretty tilt-worthy for the side of Ever8.
Can we call for the remake on the scrim?
Hello, yes. My computer is dying. We need to restart everything, including the draft. Here comes Blank, level 2 gank coming through in on Decepted. Pops the heal, but he's still going to go down. Resonating Strike takes him out. The second kill on the board for SKT just 2 minutes in.
You know, a lot of people talk about whether it's a problem that SKT wins all the international tournaments. Will they just kill international competition themselves? Maybe we need to reevaluate Achilles. Maybe what we've misunderstood is that SKT are actually the Harlem Globetrotters, and we get to watch them just have their way, have some exhibition matches, pick up an international win, because they've just decided after a game one, which was very close, was very standard, let's steal away both buffs, get a gank in mid lane, take down the enemy support at level 1. They're just playing their own game, and Ever8, I don't even know if they get to play League of Legends today.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it. Like, Untara, his first game back in, get him back on the stage, see how things go, play slow and measured. And then now that they have that victory, maybe you just put your foot on the accelerator a little bit.
Look,
so it seems like that's the case right now for SKT.
Now, I'm getting into risky territory because I don't know a lot about the Harlem Globetrotters. I've watched a couple of their games and all that. From what I understand, I imagine the roster has to change, right?
Sure.
It can't just be the same people for 40 years. So, SKT, there's rotating new people in. You're on SKT. You win a championship. Here's a nice medal. Ronaldo's here to wish you good luck.
It's the same exact guys that were featured on, Scooby-Doo back in the day.
There you go, really?
Yeah, they're still playing.
Oh, Scooby-Doo's a biography. I knew it.
They're in great shape.
I'm just saying that, well, there is surprising amount of overlap between the Harlem Globetrotters and SKT. And there's a 1,500 gold lead, and I think that was around 2 minutes 50 when that happens. That's pretty cool.
Well, ball wrong. He's going to recall. Doesn't have a whole lot going for him outside of the Hunter's Talisman and the Control Ward.
I mean, there's a bigger problem, Achilles. He doesn't have a whole lot of camps.
Well, there's a big problem for Septed because here comes Blank yet again, gets a slow up. Has the Resonating Strike ready to go, and one more hit'll do it. Baker, second kill, 201. And Septed, you know what? This is fine.
He did want to play against Faker.
I mean, if you're going to get your ass kicked by anybody, it might as well be Faker.
That's true.
You can't really be upset by that.
I don't think anyone is judged too harshly based on one series against Faker. Sure, in an international event where you never get to see them, but especially in the LCK where you know you'll get a second shot, at least you have a yardstick now. At least you have a feeling for what it's like to face Faker under the lights.
You must be this tall to get your ass kicked by Faker.
I think it's Diamond 2. That's the ruling, right? To be able to play competitive.
Yeah, something like that.
Malran got his wolves, so he felt pretty good about that. That was the only camp up. Blank took all the other ones. This is a silly game.
Yep. But, I mean, how else would you have it happen? SKT. They won the first game, and they're still playing like they're mad.
I mean, Ever8 got buffed. It is worth noting they can surrender at 15 minutes.
This is true.
So that's pretty cool.
The indirect buff. Oh, well, here comes Blank yet again. Says, oh, well, you got the Scuttle Crab.
This is just bullying.
I'll just take your life instead. You don't have a flash, but he's got a leap, so that's all right. Ward hops over the wall, but no Sonic Wave to follow up. Oh.
Speaking of bullying.
Yep. Well, Faker not quite
Nice
going to get that
sidestep from
Septed. Yeah, so keeps himself safe, but hey! Blank coming back for another visit. Slows up, says, I'm taking the kill this time. Woo! Oh, this is wonderful.
Is it?
This is about as great as it could have been. It was either going to be this or Ever8 just start stomping SKT.
It had to go in one direction or the other. I can tell you how tilted Septed is. I saw it Septed. He bought a rejuve bead instead of the refillable. Sold it and then bought it again, but I saw that.
They're close. They're not.
He was like, I just want to buy the green thing.
They're both, the same price. They're next to each other in the shop. If you look at the general menu.
Awkwardly, he couldn't afford a control ward to perhaps spot out the next time Blank wanted to kill him.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, Mike says thank you very much. It's level 5, working towards that level 6, and then things are just going to get even more painful for Ever8.
I do feel like this may be one of those games where no commentary would be more meaningful than commentary.
I mean, it's that or nature documentary.
That's true. Both those are pretty. How's your David Attenborough?
Not great, but, you want to take a crack at it?
No. I'm a big fan of the intentional silence sometimes. Maybe we're not quite there yet, but 3,000 gold at 6 minutes, we're not far from it.
I'll give it another 3 kills in the next 2 minutes, and then...
Well, Blank spot lane. He's not level 6, so he's got something to shoot for.
Well, come back and walk over, try to get that ward down.
He's going to die to a QQE if he face checks Lee Sin.
Yeah, Blank's already running back up. He's hunting for Malrang.
And so we see the Blank enter the jungle, hunting for his prey. Malrang susses this out as the Hawkshot comes through and starts recalling, but Blank is still hot on his heels.
Yeah, David Attenborough sounds a lot like Nunubot.
I was just going for like a nature documentary thing. That's what I got.
Well, this time Malrang put down a ward, so he didn't die. That's happy for him.
Oh dear.
He's not allowed many camps, is Malrang.
It's like a highlight when Malrang makes it out alive, but Jewel, he's not going to be able to say the same.
The flash forward comes through, concussive blows popped. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Faker finds the solo kill. Accepted dies.
I'm not needed here, Achilles, so keep going. I'm fine.
SK Telecom continuing back down towards the bottom lane, looking for the first brick. Should be an easy task.
You're just going to, okay.
I'm not adding anything. I got nothing to add.
But where's your sick analysis, Pop Smithy?
And my analysis is that SKT is a little bit better than Ever8 winners.
Oh, a little bit, he says. Well, yeah, this is SKT putting on a clinic right now.
We're going to see the
Dishing out
replay
the
of
pain.
Faker running accepted, and he's level 7 to level 5, so that's bad.
It doesn't even need the stun, just slows him up.
I mean, that was almost a sick outplay from Scepted on the back end to give him a compliment.
He did as best as he could with the hand that was dealt.
He's going to hit level 6 soon, so he's pretty pumped about that.
Yep. Faker's got the catalyst.
But now he's going to be shut down by the 2v1 mid strategy.
All right, here we go.
He's going to go bot lane and kill Victor again.
It's like, you can't kill me in mid if I'm not in mid. Haha.
How many memes are we going to write
Thinking
with this
outside the box. The box is a dumpster. He's trying to think outside of the dumpster that they have been put in.
game? Wait, what's in the dumpster this game?
Ever8.
Oh, that's fair. I want to bait you to say something you'd regret, but that's factually true. Meanwhile, Untara and Helper are like, what's going on in the other lanes, guys?
Oh, not going to find the connection from the Ash arrow. Faker's like, all right, if you want to duo mid, just do that as well. We'll just have way more damage than you, and Blank is waiting in the wings.
I think Faker's made a bad buy here. He's built a Rod of Ages.
Oh, that's going to be the hook, but Comeback's going to be regretting that one as he does go down. Flash
Malrang knows better.
burned as
He
well.
just gets out of there.
Yeah, one more hit onto Jewel. He'll die. Malrang, well, he's trying to get out of there. Leaps to the side, so we'll make it out with his life, but barely so.
I will call out Faker. He's starting to build Rod of Ages. That presumes the game is going to go long enough for Rod of Ages to cash in. So I think that's actually a bad buy. Would have got a lot more value out of Hextech GOP.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know, he just wants to have a couple stacks before the surrender at 15 comes through.
It's probably not going to be a surrender, but...
Yeah, no. We don't do that here. We don't really do that anywhere anymore.
No. Season 3 stories right there.
Faker's still just eating these death rays to the face because Antara's coming through with the TP. Malrang trying to slow him up. But that's about the only misstep that SKT's done so far.
Ever8 are trying their best to avoid kill a minute. We're at 8 and 10. Kill a minute from one team, to be clear, not both teams together.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, have we ever had that in LCK?
Wonder how long they can keep 2 control wards, one at the Raptor and one at the entrance to Red up. Because that's when you know that the enemy team ain't getting none of that jungle.
I mean, Malrang's already, he's got more CS than Blank, but he's 4-0-1. So the gold is still there. Now
Consider what Ever8 has access to, because those control wards tell you that their red side jungle's not one of those things.
Yeah, which means that they don't have access to a dragon at all. Flash out of that Cataclysm there for Antara. Throws down yet another nice equalizer. Just cutting off that push coming through. Mountain Drake's finished off, and Faker, he's just proxying while simultaneously taking out that tier 2 turret.
Antara's just fighting.
Yeah, he's pushing back forward here. Getting those overheat shots in. Asher, ooh! Comeback almost walks into it. It does juke back right at the last second. And it's 7.2 thousand gold lead at 11 minutes.
Yep. Proxying in bot lanes. The bot lane they don't have access to.
Jewel, do you really want to do this?
Only Warrior enchants. I probably can't one rotation him, but wouldn't be that far away from it.
With the Dragon's Rage, it'd probably be pretty close.
They don't get much minions in top lane. As you can see, Jarvan is zoned. Caitlyn's like, well, I get a minion wave.
Look at the CS difference between Faker and Scepted right now. 116 to 49. We're looking at a Flame Horizon by 15 minutes.
I mean,
he's just going into the base!
Yeah, he's going to stop proxying.
Oh my word.
I mean, they've got
Nobody-
they've got double control ward on the bot side, Achilles. Who's going to gank him?
Nobody is responding to this onslaught from Faker. He's finally peeling off. He's finally feeling merciful.
Yeah, that's not him feeling pressured. Like you say, it's him feeling merciful. Maybe he has to go buy his Rod of Ages.
Yeah, he's just, you know what, I'm being a little bit too mean. But I'll take your jungle on the way out.
Does that sound like Faker? I've seen a lot of interviews with Faker, and mercifulness, or mercy in general.
Wait, does he go back to bot? He's just going to keep going bot. He's just going to stick around. Maybe not. All right.
He really wants his Rod of Ages.
I was going to say, he's got so much gold in the inventory right now. Like, he's got 5 stacks as well. So Rod of Ages comes through. Will the game hit 22.5 minutes is going to be the question.
310 CS picked up by Ever8 so far. It's about 400 for the side of SKT. So they've already denied 90 minions to the turret. 90 minions in 12 minutes. That's a lot of the minions. A high percentage of them, Achilles.
It's, yeah, it's not looking great. Comeback's like, I'm going to sit on this bush. I'm going to wait for somebody to walk in here. Thwarted. Hook not going to connect. Blank doesn't have vision because of the control ward thrown down.
There's definitely a meanwhile happening in bot lane here.
All right, takes it away with the Tempest because why not? Doesn't even need the smite.
Those control wards are going to last the whole game, aren't they?
Yep. Yep. Which means they're going to last about another 10 minutes. Because at this rate, I mean, they could just drop Rift Herald on Inhib Turret and bot.
They could also drop Rift Herald, and no one in Ever8 can really do anything about it. Poking over to the mid lane.
Somehow, this is way more of a slaughter than Afrika's perfect game. Either of them.
It just feels worse, because we've all played this game, Achilles. I've played this game. I've been on both sides of this game in solo queue.
This is true.
This is solo queue. This is solo queue reincarnated on the big stage. Everyone here is like kind of aghast, being like, because we all watch this game and we wince the same way. We're like, oh, I remember when I was a top laner, I went Rumble. I went Jarvan, I was feeling it. And then my mid laner was 0-4 out of nowhere in like the first 5 minutes. And then my bot lane was 0-4. Like, what's happening?
I mean, this feels like I'm watching a scrim from when like SKT goes to like NA for Worlds to boot camp.
Every Redditor is helper and also challenger.
Or not the boot camp, but just to play, but yes. When they arrive for the tournament, they just happen to be playing solo queue. That's what this looks like.
Helper's going to go back, and he's going to be like, I played my game.
Oh. It's like, I kept up in CS. I don't know about you guys.
He's almost doubling the amount of gold that the Victor has as Faker, so that's pretty cool. His Rod of Ages is stacking up, so if this game goes to late, which at this point would represent 23 minutes.
I think, I think the reason why Faker bought it is because he's challenging himself to close out the game before it hits 10 stacks. If he doesn't, then it's considered a failure.
I mean, when I watch him on solo queue, he's very big on getting in the picture and pulling until he has 6 items. So I don't know if that's true. Maybe he just wants to hit a new AP record.
Could be. Oh, all right. It's going for a bit of a stroll. He's going to take the time to clear out this ward. He's being collapsed on by multiple members, 3 in the vicinity. Knock-up will come through. Cataclysm is available. Tar does have the flash, throws down the equalizer. Johnny has to go running for the hills, but looks like they will put a kill on the board. Not a perfect game for SKT. Confirmed worse than Afrika Freaks, but in the meantime, Tier 2 turret goes down as Bang pushes with the Rift Herald.
Infinitely worse. Remember, Afrika has 2 perfect games.
Yeah. Well, SKT looking at 1.5 turrets, and Faker's still poking around at this spot in Hib.
SKT have been delayed till surrender is available.
I mean, Septon can at least clear the minions now.
That's true. He's got a Hex Tech. Hex Core upgrade.
And the Amp Tome.
Hey man, that could represent more later. Amp Tome builds into Death Cap. He'd love to have a Death Cap. He'd love to be wearing a sweet hat.
It's just a poor man's Death Cap.
There's no
Like,
rich.
literally.
There's literally no rich men on the side of Ever8. So, well, Faker wants more kills.
All right, well, he'll get it. Even with the shielding coming down. Faker's now in a bad spot. He's just going to die. Tries to finish off comeback. Won't be able to do so, but he gets pretty close.
Bang & Wolf kind of watch, probably smirk a little bit, and go back to pushing mid lane.
He's like, all right.
This is a dumb game.
Yep.
It's a real dumb game.
It's like, good job, brother Faker.
He'll find out you said that, by the way. Pace your time in Soda Coma by forgetting about him, calling Faker brother Faker. He's not going to miss that either.
At least I didn't forget about Faker.
Really, we need the Infernal Drake, SKT.
Yes.
This is a very important objective to pick up.
It's a must-have. Can't win without it.
I thought Ever8 might try and attack the Baron, but it hasn't spawned yet.
Yeah. Turns out we're still several minutes away from that happening.
Oh, good. Gee golly gosh. Ooh, the control wards were taken down. Okay, the balance of power shifting back towards Ever8.
Ever8 wins.
No, Ever8 winners.
Oh.
Close.
Whoops.
Faker is very, very scary. Wants to kill Helper.
And Antara
Shortly
is ready to help with that. He's like, surprise, pops out of the brush. Miasma comes down. Flash away, does come through, and Helper will make his way out of there safely.
Flash EQ does cover a lot of distance to run away.
Jarvan, the coward's champ.
Malrang is still 17. And this is actually bullying happening here in LCK.
Yeah. This is workplace harassment.
And this is with Antara and Blank.
Well, I mean, you can't really say with Blank. With Antara makes sense, because it's just, first series.
Sure, but when it comes to these pressure games, we have...
Okay, sure. Blank isn't the most aggressive jungler.
Peanut is the guy who made Flawless Buffless.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is happening with Blank, who has basically played like a Peanut-esque Lee Sin game, and it's Antara, who is certainly not Huni by reputation, but has clearly done a lot of work to improve in his time away from professional play, is still a statement.
Comeback just throwing out a hook, reminding Wolf that there's another support in the game. Can't go forward off that, though. Miasma coming down yet again as Faker wants to kill Helper. Already, a couple spells come through and he's knocked down to half HP.
So the novelty of the game has kind of moved away a little bit because now they've taken most of the easy objectives and everyone on SKT just buying items and taking jungle camps for some reason.
I mean, it's a 10,000 gold lead. They could just do whatever you want.
A 20-minute Baron appears to be what they want.
With a Cassiopeia, with a Mountain Drake, and an Infernal, so seems to be pretty easy.
She's got 6 stacks on her Rod of Ages too, so she's almost got the gold there.
But he lost his stacks on his Darksteel.
It's a tough life.
What are we going to do with you, Faker? Give you another World Championship.
Yeah, that seems likely. There was the part in the SKT skin highlight video that Riot replaced with, like, they were talking about whoever wins the next World Championship. And I was like, someone probably did a take where they said SKT wins another, and then they cut that one out.
He'll just win enough championships until there's no champions left, and then he'll finally have his Ahri skin. That's the plan.
I'm sure if he told Riot that the Ahri skin would be the end, they would happily oblige.
I'll start throwing after he gives me my Ahri skin. Match fixing with Riot. That would be that'd be next level. Well, Acceptance having a bad time still.
He's got his perfect hex score. It's the only thing perfect about Ever8 this game. And yep, 20-minute Baron. Can they duo a 20-minute Baron? That'd be a statement.
Well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and move 4 people over there. Ever8 just kind of throwing out the scrying orb, just like, are they? Yeah, okay. Well, this is fine.
Is it Achilles?
Everything's on fire. This is fine. Well, it's going to be a quick one. So, only 10 p.m. Any plans on a Saturday night there, Papa Smithy?
Well, I have to clear my schedule because I've learned that LCK can go to 11:30 and 12, but I don't know. I'm free, I guess. Newly free. It's the weekend also for us. We have a couple of days off.
You want to grab dinner after this?
We could do that. Discussing dinner plans is probably more intricate than discussing this game where SKT have a lead in every lane. There's no comeback mechanism. There's no way they lose. You could pull the plug out of 2 of their computers. They would still win.
There's basically no comeback here.
Nope.
It's just throwing hooks, trying to feel involved.
Don't call it a comeback.
Malrang, flashes away from the Ash Arrow, and they'll get themselves away from that Glacial Fissure as well. But that's about the best of it.
They don't have anyone that can kill super minions. That's typically Baron buff minions especially. as now Victor's been thwarted.
Yeah, that's just going to be the first in him getting ready to fall. So the turret goes down. Everybody's coming towards this bottom side, and Helper's coming through with a TP. Flashes in, drops down the Cataclysm, has a flag and drag out now. The Equalizer thrown down by Untara. Comeback just getting melted. The Dragon's Rage is ripping off his HP bar. Septic goes low as well, and Blank, well, he's not done yet. Just goes ahead, picks that one up.
Here's
now Faker
Faker
pitching it from the sidelines, gets the slow on the duel. They'll finish him off. 3 kills picked up just like that. Inhib going down, and Tara has the TP ready to go. SKT might just go for the finish. 22.5 minutes in, and yes, they will. TP back in.
Yeah, mercifully, they'll look to end. Another welcome is extended. SKT's first match against Ever8 is, in other way, an introduction to the league. Great performance from them. Not much to say more than that. They go for the picture. The portrait is there, and SK Telecom T1, they may be third in the LCK, but they are the best in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I just watched a pro baseball team crush a T-ball squad.
That's definitely going to have an R18 on the VOD.
I mean, good God. That was just an absolute slaughter. No one feels good about what they just did.
Does anyone feel good that was watching it? It was
Probably not.
cool, but it was range of emotions coming through as Ever8. They realize the task at hand now. If they ever want to start pushing up the table.
Well, it's a shame. We were really excited for that mid lane matchup, Septed versus Faker. And the first time, you know, the Lucian, he was doing all right. The comp was centered around that, but once he died, that was pretty much it. But this time, I mean, Faker is really giving him the welcome to LCK treatment.
Blank also, on Lee Sin, decided that he was going to have a day out, took both of Malrung's first buffs.
You would think that Peanut was in this game. But, nope. Just Blank, now at double digits, 10-0 in 2017.
Sounds like the punchline to a joke, but it's just the reality. That's the world.
This is our existence now. So, I think it's pretty clear who the MVP for Game 2 is going to be. And that got everything rolling. But yeah, that was a tough one to watch.
Faker cashed in his Rod of Ages, I believe. I think he got 10 stacks.
I feel like I need to go to confession after this.
Dirty, dirty stuff on the side of SK Telecom, who just bowl over Ever8 winners in Game 2. Calling it a game is a bit of a misnomer. It was
Scrim.
one-sided stomp. Was really the only thing to call it. Ever8 will probably need some significant VOD review. Malrung would never have felt anything like that in its very tender pro career. Only 17 for a couple of months, but had to deal with the best team in the world, angry, wanting to prove themselves, now 3-1. You see matches like that and you wonder what Samsung versus SKT in the second round robin will look like, because the SKT that showed up on the second day of the season is not the same SKT we showed up here, and I'm not talking about roster.
Yeah, not at all. Well, 12,000 damage in 22 minutes, and honestly, Faker couldn't really get much more than that because the HP bars on the side of Ever8 only had so much there for him to deplete.
17,000 damage was all of Ever8 put together.
Yeah.
Understandably, didn't get to do much damage to champions. They were just kind of running away from enemy champions, Faker most of the time.
Well, even in crushing defeat, Septed is the front runner there as far as damage, and yep, there you go, 5-0-3. Blank with the Lee Sin will pick up his third MVP.
And he has 75% MVP contribution because he's played 4 games and won 3 MVPs. So, going to be difficult for Peanut to show in scrims or even in practice that he should be involved in the first team, and Blank's only second to Crown in that MVP.
Yeah, hot on his heels. And I mean, it's just absolutely brutal from the start. Septed, just, what more can you say? Just getting dunked.
No Jarvan in the game, but still a dunk just to happen.
Well, Jarvan was there. Didn't feel like Jarvan was there, but he was on the other team.
Wasn't a game that needed commentary. I think everyone at home knew what was happening. There wasn't any nuance to it. There was no way back into it.
Kind of speaks for itself. I'm glad that we get the replay on Septed's face, though.
I did like the Septed cam because he got the matchup he was looking for, and it was more than he bargained for somehow, even though I'm sure he's watched hundreds of Faker games.
We should have just kept the end game cams up for Ever8 the entire time, so we could just always see their faces. That would have been interesting. But yeah, Septed cam was nice. Well, this was the
5v4.
Yeah, this was the Hail Mary leading into the end of the game. And Blank will just follow up, kill Septed yet again.
Yeah, in fact, he decided he wanted to get in the picture. Last gen knew he would get at least a single kill. He saw Duel accept his fate. He wasn't getting out that time.
Well, he was just able to complete his Rod of Ages stacks. Right on 22 minutes.
Worth. Good investment.
See, that was it. It was actually a timer for the end of the game.
Perfect.
So, all right, let's go ahead. Throw over to Joel for the translation as we hear from our MVPs from match number 2.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel with your interview translations once again. And we are here with SK Telecom, picking up a 2-0 victory against the seemingly strong Ever8 winners. And we have Bang and Blank, the MVPs for today's matches, here for the interview. Guys, how do you feel right now? You know, ever since finishing up NSI and coming back, we did make a failed return to the LCK, but I think we really want more games like this to really prove, you know, we are a strong team again. And Blank, you gotta start game in a, you haven't had it for a long time, but how do you feel about that? Yeah, I think I was very thankful for all the laners who played really well, who really held up the lane so that, you know, I can make plays with the lanes that were available. And Blank is still continuing that trend of not losing and continue to winning. Yeah, I do worry about that a little bit each time I play because I don't want to break my undefeated record, but you know, I try not to worry about it. And we have to talk about the bot lane for a second because they pulled out the Ziggs bot at first, and how was that like facing up against an AP ADC? And right now the Doran shield is a meta, and the Ziggs is forced to go Doran ring in laning, but you know, because of the item difference, first of all, it gives the Doran shield much advantage, and you know, getting ADC that can take advantage of Doran shield is usually going to come out as the winner, and I think that was the case today. So I don't think Ziggs ADC right now is not the best one to go with right now. And the thing with, you know, Ziggs having Doran ring, I can just constantly hit it, and it does take damage, but you know, he tries to hit me back, but I don't take any damage. And the game was very smoothly progressed by you guys, but did you guys have any situation where you thought that you had a little halt in the way you operated the game? And what has it been like playing with Untara? You know, we've seen him for the first time this season. Of course, you know, our chemistry isn't perfect yet, but I think it's a very acceptable level that we can always improve on. You know, but we're making plays to tell him to use the ultimate, and he gets the ultimate down, right? So that's why it's alright for now. And we do have a video highlight of where they got the kill in mid lane. So with Duel not having enough HP, Untara finishes them with the ultimate, and it gets another big damage right here onto Septed. You know, for me, I didn't really worry about the Rumble ultimate. You know, Ziggs just, you know, overreached for a little bit and overextended, and I just had to, you know, put some auto attacks in. That's kind of what I did. And the second set was the shortest game in LCK summer split. And it felt like, you know, the game really just blew open in the first few minutes. And it was easy for us because, you know, Bang and Wolf really they just blew open the bot lane, and after that there was really not much for me to do to even make that worse. Yeah, he's trying to take credit, you know, when we're the one that stopped Kha'Zix, but you know, I think he's just trying to take a little bit of credit for what it's worth. The reason I'm saying that is, if you saw that Wolf was facing against Kha'Zix, and he had to, retreat back for a second, but after that play though, I noticed that, I could actually go for the red and make some aggressive play on the red, but, that's kind of how it's all started, so I think you should give a little bit more credit to me than giving the credit off to Blank. But I think Blank is trying to make it sound a little bit more like he had more credit in, how the game, really popped off to our favor.
확실하게 하자. 내가 가자고 한 거다.
그렇죠. 근데 만약에 제가 먼저 이제 레드 쪽으로 가지 않.
No, but of course, if I didn't, make the first move going to the red buff, I wouldn't have taken credit for it. But since I did, I think I really deserve the credit. And this is the play that he's talking about. And when you get that kind of play happen to you, you really just want to stop jungling and just quit the game. And of course, your teammates really made the plays possible, but you really put in a big part in this second set. I've always tried to play a perfect game and, try to play as perfect as I can, and that's always my goal for each and every game. But, I saw that, the death number at the end of the game, but I think I wanted to do a little bit more better. And we do have another play where we see a video highlight of where Maorang was literally bullied. Yeah, in this situation, after those series of plays, there was no way I was going to lose 1v1. So, every time I saw Maorang, I just went aggressively. And it seemed like as the time went on, the difference in gold and difference in advantage has become too wide.
Speechless.
What more can you say about that game? So,
what I remember the most recently was at 2015, when we were facing Ku Tigers. And that was a situation where, the game broke open in the very early stages. But other than that, I don't remember a time where we were extremely behind in any specific game. So it seems like that's the SKT's strength, where even one lane is behind, they can cover in the other lanes. But being the SK Telecom that you guys are, losing the first series, now you guys are on a consecutive win streak. And how do you feel about this moving forward? I feel that our team as a whole, we're so talented in the laning phase, and also, with the jungle contribution that I can also make as well. A lot of us from Blank. And we do have to move on. Let's talk about skins, because that is a big part of what SKT is all about. Do you like the skin, that you were given? I was really aggressive in telling the Riot, the skin team, to get the skin that I wanted. So I think, the quality of the skins have risen to a much higher level. So, and of course, we always want to make an impact in the game and out of the game as well. So, having that nice skin is wonderful. So thank you, Riot. And I'm sure, if I say anything further, it will be more like a sponsorship. So I'll stop right here. Alright, we thank you so much for the wonderful skins. We love it so much. And we hope that you buy a lot of those SKT skins.
Sell out Blank.
Wasn't Skoma very happy with the skins? Yeah, I think we started talking about this since 2 months ago, and a staff from Riot came to us, explained to us how this was going to be. But, I think we explained that, Koma's ward skin would have been the top seller. That's what the Riot staff told us, and we kind of agree with it. And I think once we saw it released, it was like, this is the greatest thing, and I think everybody should buy this. So but all the skin sales is evenly divided with all of us, the teammates, and also with the coach. So we're not worried about this. And of course, the quality really covers for all those sellout comments by Bang. Would you like to say any last words to the fans out here today?
저희가 이제 썸머 시즌 작년과는 좀 다르게 MSI 끝나고 와서도
I think coming back from MSI, we really wanted to, start out the summer season strong, but losing the first series was a disappointment for us. But
그러니까 기대해 주셔도 좋을 것 같아요.
I think you can still expect great things from us, and I think we are able to, we're very capable of doing great things once again this split.
올해도 잘 마무리할 수 있도록
So we'll work hard to get a good finish to the season and have a successful season once again. So that is the end of the interview. Back over to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Joel, for that translation to close out the night. So yeah, happy with the skins, happy with their performance. Want to get back on top is SKT. Unfortunately, not going to be going past Jin for the moment, but we'll be in the third place spot.
SKT versus Jin. It has hype, but so did the mid lane matchup of Septid versus Faker, and hype was not necessary in that case.
The hype died very quickly in Game 2.
Was eroded, I would say.
Yes.
Blank decided to get in there, gank at level 1 Victor, and kind of ruin the laning phase. Thanks, Blank.
It all got washed away, but SKT will be in that third place spot at the moment, just below Jin Green Wings, because of that 0-2 loss, that pesky one that they suffered at the hands of Samsung, who are still resting mighty and high in the first place spot. But SKT do look to be on the up and up, and it was a very good re-debut performance from Untara, especially on the Rumble.
We've all learned not to read too much into losing the first match of the season. No one thought season was over after they lost to Samsung.
Yeah.
SKT back into form. Very exciting matchups coming up in the future for them, as we're going to see them really try and close out this first round robin 8-1, and after a performance like that, don't think anyone would deny the possibility, as we won't have these matches, but on this stream there will be more matches tomorrow.
Yep, over at the Gangnam Stadium, they will be taking over these ones. BBQ Olivers versus Rocks Tigers. It's going to be a bit of a battle of the bottom tier between these guys. See who can start stretching up the standings. Rocks Tigers did look very good by the end of the spring split, so hopefully they can kind of get back on that horse and then make their way up the ladder. And then it was KT versus MVP as that second one, I believe.
That was a trap matchup for KT, you remember, quite a lot last season.
Yeah.
They lost to MVP. We wondered, wait, where's KT at? And for the longest time, it seemed like it wasn't going to be a contender. Overall came second, but with both KT and MVP struggling, could actually be a pretty relevant match to let us know, do we have faith in KT? Do we even have faith for them to be top 3? Because right now, we don't really know.
Honestly, maybe it's just 2 matches tomorrow that kind of look a bit the same if you take the nameplates off. You never really know what's going to happen there. That's going to wrap it up from here at OGN for the week. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday with more LCK action. So you have a good one, and we'll see you then.